The following is a Galactic Network podcast. For more, go to gncast.com. That's gncast.com.
Space, the final frontier.
Okay, so we're not a Star Trek podcast. We are indeed a Doctor Who podcast. Hello, and welcome to Who Knew and Review, a podcast from the Galactic Network. Now, if you've watched Oxygen, I'm sure you understand why I played that at the beginning of the show. And we'll have a little chat on that more later. But first of all, I've rejigged things. I'm going to do my little ramble, you know, the bit I would normally do at the end, at the beginning, at the end, but at the beginning of the end, at the beginning. Following me so far? Excellent. That's time travel for you. So, let's get straight into my review of Oxygen. So, with all my reviews, I will give you the synopsis. I will also tell you what I feel with the good bits, the bad bits, the most universal bit, and then I will have my rambling musings. Seems good, yes? Okay. So, if you remember, it did start indeed like this.
Space, the final frontier.
I just want to play that over and over again. It invokes good memories for me. And it must evoke good memories for the Doctor as well, because that is how this episode started. A sort of homage, if you will. And it starts space, the final frontier. Final because it wants to kill us. Trapped in a space station with no oxygen, the Doctor, Bill and Nardole are horrified to discover the automated spacesuits keeping them alive are also trying to kill them. Now, as a synopsis goes, that's brilliant. That's enough to get me wanting to watch this just because it included some great words from the late great Gene Roddenberry. But Darryl, I hear you ask, what are the good bits of Oxygen? That's the Doctor Who show and not actually, you know, the component gas from the air that we breathe. Well, the good bits is Bill. Bill has got a fine set of expressions on her, and by golly, she must have used them all. An absolute joy to behold. Darryl, I hear you say, you already sound like you really like this episode. So what are the bad bits? Surely there are no bad bits. And yeah, there are. The bad bits is the premise of corporations starving people with oxygen. Now, they didn't need to. They could have had, anything else than that. They could have, I don't know, instead of starving people of oxygen, just mothballing a project and forgetting about them. But no, they went ahead and starved oxygen, and it just didn't sit well with me. I don't think humans will ever be that expendable. So the most universal bit, well, what makes this Who? What makes this so Doctor? Well, the Doctor himself sacrificing in that particular manner, and the ramifications of that act, being prepared to go without a helmet. So many comparisons as well in this episode between the emoji robots and Silence of the Library suits. This whole AI technology is having shenanigans. There certainly seems to be that sort of, well, is it an arc? Is it a mini arc? Is it a mark? Maybe we'll call it a mark, okay? We're going to call it a mark. It's a mini arc, a mark. I wonder whether we're going to see any other AI shenanigans as we go along. But what did I really think? And I'm so very pleased that you asked me what did I really think, because I will happily tell you. The first 40 minutes of Oxygen is just so worthy of so much praise. Probably one of the good or best standalone episodes of Doctor Who that we've had for quite some time. It's there's no small feat really, because just looking back to Knock Knock and looking back to Thin Ice and this series, they've all been good. This is a 5 TARDIS out of 5 TARDIS, even with the bad bit that I mentioned. This is as good as it gets. It was very nice to see that Nardole came along for a ride. I mean, there's a lot to be explored about Nardole, because it's alluded that he may be some sort of AI, some sort of robot or something similar. So why did he need a spacesuit? It seems with all this AI stuff creeping up that this is the sort of forebearers to us getting to the Mondasian Cybermen. It all seems a little like that. We see the Doctor and Bill end up on a space station, and Bill's excitement at heading properly into space naturally leads to him nearly dying, but isn't that what happens on Doctor Who? Now, Jamie Matheson displays a real talent. It's a sort of economical storytelling, but it doesn't leave you thinking that you haven't followed a story. It's strong, evocative opening, quickly establishes the two characters' connection and why we should care about them, and then it follows up with the chilling execution. Now let's be honest, the start of this episode was perhaps one of the best openings in Doctor Who for ages, and that just set the tone of the kind of quality that we're going to expect. I was blown away by the set that they had chosen. All too often in Doctor Who, the sets, I mean, we're not talking the 1970s, 1980s sets, but the sets need work, and by golly, I think they've been spending a lot of time working. Whoever is in the set construction and prop department have played a doozy. Now, the actual character of Bill intrigues me because she actually feels like a human, and that's sort of good, and that's something that Oxygen really delivered well. So it was an episode of scares, unsettling sequences, the brief vacuum of space, and crew of zombies. I give this 5 TARDISes out of 5.
Hauntings, sky sounds, parallel universes, monster sightings, the New World Order, ghost ships, urban legends, mysterious radio broadcasts, and secret government facilities are just a few things we've talked about on Weird World Weekly. Listen to find out what's next. Go to gncasts.com/weird to listen, find out more, and subscribe to the podcast that discusses the paranormal, mythological, conspiratorial, unexplained, or anything else we think is a little strange and out of the ordinary. Also, Matt's continuing search for turkey recipes. It's all on Weird World Weekly, part of the Galactic Netcast network of shows, also available wherever you listen to podcasts.
Okay, so let's do the news. Now, as we are in season, as you know, the news is more based around what is happening with Series 10. There isn't any great items of news. We are still waiting to find out who the next Doctor will be. Now, we'll start with a news item which was in Blog to Who, which I read, and I read with quite a lot of interest because Oxygen centres around malfunctioning spacesuits. They do a feature called Blast from the Past, and they brought a spacesuit special. Can you say spacesuit special 3 times really quick? It's really hard, but that's what they've done. They brought a spacesuit special to their site. Oh crikey, more S words. Looking back on all the spacesuits we've seen in Doctor Who, and there are some beautifully designed ones. I don't think they're as beautifully designed as the sort of crystal helmet that the spacesuits, the AI spacesuits in Oxygen wear. But it's a good little history, and it sort of shows the trends of spacesuits through the ages. Now, casting news, because we are still in this situation where we know we're going to get a doctor, but we don't know if we're going to get a doctor. And Luke Treadaway has delivered a mysterious response to the RadioTimes.com's reports that the BBC bosses are sizing him up to become the 13th Doctor. The Fortitude star posted a tweet in reply to the story. He simply tweeted the word "sure." I know. And sticking with casting, Phoebe Waller-Bridge has broken through this year thanks to Fleabag, and now, she's a little bit famous, and she's been linked to taking on the lead role in Doctor Who once Peter Capaldi departs. Speaking to Digital Spy and other media at the BAFTA TV Awards, where she won Female Performance in a comedy programme, she said, "I'm not going to be the first Doctor. Not that I know of." Well, that's what you'd say. They tell you to be quiet. They say you can't say anything. Is she going to be the next Doctor? Who knows? Now, I don't know if you've been watching the spin-off programme Class. It's all about kids in a school and weird stuff happens, right? Now, in the UK, all our schools are tested to see if they're up to scratch. And they do this with a government body called Ofsted. They go around inspecting things, rather dull. But it seems they're not happy with Coal Hill Academy. A picture released on the official Class Twitter account shows a report following the school inspection depicted in episode 2, with Catherine Kelly's alien warrior turned physics teacher Miss Quill criticised for unprovoked rudeness and grossly offensive behaviour, total disregard for the A-level curriculum. Oh yeah, she might have physically assaulted the inspector. There's a splendid bit of fun, although it looks rather official. Would you go to Coal Hill? Nah, neither would I. So, now on to next week. Because after the big bombshell on the Doctor Who episode Oxygen, it seems the Doctor is going to go to lengths to conceal his new secret. In a preview trailer for the episode Extremis, the Doctor tries to hide his newfound blindness from Bill, much to the annoyance of Nardole. Although, that's not what I'll be tuning in, because at the end of the What's On Next Week trailer, we get a very brief glimpse of Missy for the first time. And I, for one, am looking forward to that. So, until next time, when we talk about Extremis, goodbye for now. Many thanks for downloading this podcast from the Galactic Network. We have so much to offer. Maybe it's horror or adventure gaming. Perhaps you just like to listen to a couple of nerds geeking out. Well, if that's the case, then visit gncasts.com. That's gncasts.com, and have a good poke around. You'll be surprised what you find. Maybe you'd like to chat to the hosts. If so, then why not sign up to our Slack channel? Or simply you want to tell us what a great job we're doing. That's gncasts.com.
This has been a Galactic Network podcast. For more, go to gncast.com. That's gncast.com.